Good evening, welcome to ITV News. This is Thursday night's calendar.
And these are this evening's main stories. But first tonight to the crackdown on antisocial behaviour in Hull, where gangs of youths have been blamed for terrorising residents, setting fire to properties and even attacking emergency services.
Police say they've identified a core group of offenders and they're taking action, with extra patrols in areas including the Booth Ferry Estate and Gower Road, which have been especially badly affected.
Well, today MPs met community groups to discuss their concerns. Fraser Maud reports.
Well, next tonight, Yorkshire's star batsman and England Test captain Joe Root has spoken for the first time about the racism row surrounding his own county and admitted that lives have been torn apart and the game of cricket fractured.
Root is currently on the Gold Coast of Australia, where he will lead his team in the Ashes this winter, but his mind is very much on matters back at home, as Arif Ahmed now reports. Well, next this evening, tens of thousands of people across our region fell silent today as the country honoured the work of our armed forces.
We'll have more on that event at Scampton a little later in the programme. But as the nation marked Armistice Day, a charity in Rotherham, which works with ex-servicemen and women, says it's seeing unprecedented demand for support.
Help for the Homeless veterans says it's dealing with double the number of calls it usually handles and is calling for the government to do more. Helen Steele reports. And we will be going to RAF Scampton before the end of tonight's programme. But now on to what is shaping up to be an especially tough winter period for our health services. The latest NHS performance figures have been released today and they show that October was another month for unwanted records.
Yes, in fact, 2 of our hospital trusts recorded among the worst A&E waiting times in the country. Well, next to a full-scale emergency response after a double-decker bus taking 60 children to school in Lincolnshire crashed off a country lane this morning.
This incident happened in North Hykeham and led to significant delays, but thankfully no significant injury. Adam Fowler reports. Fowler there reporting from North Hykeham. Now, as we emerge from the pandemic, this year marks 40 years since the outbreak of another virus, one for which there is still no vaccine or cure.
Yes, in the UK, it began with one man's mysterious death, the first reported case of AIDS. Until now, he's never been identified, but ITV's Tonight team has finally been able to trace him, as Lauren Hall reports. Looks to be an emotional documentary. You can see the Tonight programme Searching for Patient Zero, Britain's AIDS tragedy, right here on ITV at 7:30, or of course you can catch up on the ITV Hub.
Well, the ITV Evening News is coming up at 6:30, looking at many of the stories we've already told you about this evening with Charlene White.
Thanks for that, Charlene, if I can spit my words out. Next tonight, times are increasingly tough for our region's farmers as they battle the effects of climate change and also try to bring down their own carbon output. But what if they could get by a little easier and a little greener with the help from robots, Duncan?
Well, experts at the University of Lincoln have been showcasing high-tech solutions at the COP26 climate conference in Glasgow, which they hope could save time, but also help in the battle to save the planet. Emma Haywood reports. Well, immediately after the programme this evening, we'll have a special programme which you can watch online. It's all about COP26. We'll be answering all of your burning questions about the issues that have been raised this week till 6:30. Or else.
And I tell you what, there's something that robots cannot do, and that is predict the weather. And yet John Mitchell can. Thanks ever so much, John.
Very poignant too. Well, finally this evening we are returning to Armistice Day and to one airbase in the region that's best known as the home of the RAF's Red Arrows display team, but sadly is no stranger to the harsh realities of war.
Yes, RAF Scampton lost a total of 551 aircrew in World War II, and everyone at the base is determined that they as well should never be forgotten.
That's why they invited hundreds of school children to the base today, and while the weather put pay to a display from the Arrows, the message of the ceremony that took place was definitely one of remembrance, as Emma Wilkinson reports. Special day for them all down at Scampton, and one that they will never forget, as everyone else shouldn't.
Yeah, and amazing that they take it all in as well, don't they, and have their own memories from it as well. Let's have a look at what the weather's going to be like going forward. Here's John. Thanks, John. The national and international stories are next with Charlene White.
From the whole team on Calendar, thanks for watching. Back again tomorrow at 6.
See you.